more. And there's a tiny element of luck where I think it's Mahrez just gets a little megs on somebody when he gets tight. But the key moment for me is Fernandinho's ball, because he just checks before he, rather than take the simple pass to play, he actually checks his movement, and then Jesus makes the run, and then he gets down the side. It's the weight of the ball. He doesn't have to check his stride, Jesus. It carries it on, and from a defensive point of view, it's you're almost trying to defend against the perfect goal. The ball down the side is perfect, the timing, the player doesn't have to check his feet. The cross is perfect, the defenders can't get back in. There's so many things that could go wrong, but when it's perfect, it's beautiful. It really is beautiful moment. And then, of course, the finish is sublime. I'm expecting him to take a touch and then just a side foot. But when it's perfect, you can't stop it when it's that good.
Oh yeah, it was perfect. I love the fact so much that it's such a perfect counter attack that within 19 seconds we're in their box, we're in our box, then we're all the way up and we've scored. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Completely agree. Right, I'm going to give you the team news now for Watford for the game today, which kicks off in about 35 minutes. So your Watford team news for today: in goal it is Bachmann, and then it is Rose, Trusty Kong, Lusa, King, Cleverly, Pedro, Cathcart, Sissoko, Firmino and Dennis. So that is your starting 11 for Watford today, and we can see the Watford team arriving for the 5:30 kickoff in the Premier League today. We're going to have a quick chat now about the Watford team, Shaun. I'm going to come first to you, because to me it feels like Watford are a team that can score a lot of great goals, but defensively they're not there. But what do you make of, straight away, Dennis, who's in incredible form at the minute?
Well, yeah, when you're in a team that don't particularly score a lot of goals as a forward, you have to be that one that pops up with the odd goal. I mean, I always had the thought that if I was in a team that's consistently losing, is can I get on the score sheet? And even though we've lost the last 4 or 5 games, can I still get on the score sheet in 1 or 2 of those games? Because then people start saying, well, actually, he's the one scoring. And I think this is his mindset, that they're going to be up against it most weeks, but he seems to be getting on the score sheet. So he's having a brilliant season. So for him, he's just got to continue that, and he will be one to watch, certainly. Dennis will be one to watch. We also know Josh King has the ability to score a few goals. He's also got a few goals, but they don't seem to put together 2 and 3 goals in games. For them, it's I think they got something like they're averaging like a goal a game. And in the Premier, it's just not enough, which is why they're where they are.
Yeah, and they really do struggle to keep clean sheets, Andy. So it's 24 top-flight games now without a clean sheet. When you look at their defence, what's your kind of thoughts about today's game?
I think it's slightly disjointed. I think they've been unfortunate with injuries. There's no stability there. There's no pattern. There's no continual team. And in the Premier League, if you're not getting 4, 5, 6 games runs where you're keeping clean sheets, or at least the same back four, you get a build up and understanding of relationships across the back, and they're not, and they've struggled. And as you've just said, 24 goals. That means Man City are going to score today, and they're going to find it very difficult to stop us. I feel for them, because I know the injury. I was looking yesterday at the players they have missing, and you can't in the Premier League have that many players missing and come up against an informed team. It doesn't look great for them, but the manager will have shown a lot of respect for whatever team's in front of him.
Well, you speak about a back four. I mean, I see them dropping into a back five. I see City forcing them into a back five.
Back 10, Shaun.
Yeah.
They'll end up a back 10.
So there's that continuity we talk about. Whatever they've been playing with, whether it's a back four, again, this evening they're going to be forced into a back five and maybe a back 6 at times, and that doesn't, again, it doesn't bode well for front players. If you feel you're going to get the odd chance or two, then you feel, okay, I'm going to put that work in because I know there's a chance coming. But I think they've got their backs up against it tonight. But football is football, and they all need to perform well to get something out of this game.
I've got some bad news for you both. bearer of bad news here. Liverpool scored a winner in the 94th minute of their game against Wolves. So Liverpool have beaten Wolves 1-0. We were really hoping they were going to drop some points there. 90+4 they scored. Obviously, though, the good news being that Chelsea got beat by West Ham today. I'm really intrigued to know, as former professional players, when you were playing at a different point to teams that you were in contention with, did you want to know the scores? Did you know the scores? Will they know the scores, do you think?
When I was informed, the team was informed, I wasn't too bothered because it was about us on the day, and it's like we take care of our game. So my expectation is the City players will be thinking, I'm not really bothered about how Liverpool are doing, how Chelsea are doing. We take care of our game, we win our game. Probably after the game, it's how did the result go? But certainly when I was on form and the team was on form, I was like, I'm not really bothered how they're playing, how they do. It's taking care of business. I don't know about yourself.
No, I agree, and I think the time of the season as well. We're not even at Christmas yet, so everybody's fighting for points now and positioning themselves. We all want to be top of the league come Christmas time, but it's just something in the change room a player would never ever ask or want to know, because it might show an element of complacency, and then if the result doesn't go well, then you were talking about that game before. Your focus wasn't on it, so you wouldn't give anything away. It'd be like something in the back of your mind. You might just a great chance today to go top of the league, but you certainly wouldn't be going asking how the games are going.
That's absolutely fascinating.
Andy would have ripped my head off. Hey, how did the result go earlier, Andy?
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? So is it the same for players? Just quickly, we're going to get an update from Michael Brown in just one second, but I just want to ask, in terms of players, you mentioned Christmas Day there, Andy. For fans, there is something special about being top on Christmas Day. I don't know why. Was it the same for players?
I want to be top in May. You want to be thereabouts. Again, our time was different because we weren't consistent enough to go win 18 games in a row. We knew we'd win 2 or 3, lose 3 or 4. So it was about, could we be there at the end of the season? This current team, though, getting top, it speaks a lot. It speaks volumes.
I think that's the expectation, Sean, of the football club. This club, this group, this what's been built over a long period now. We want to be top of the league, and if we're not, then that's what we're pushing for. Striving all the time to improve in every area of the football club, and that's what the club do. And I think as fans, I think that's all you can really ask of your club. You're not guaranteed anything. We're not guaranteed to win the title. We're not guaranteed Champions League. But is your club striving to improve? And this club is striving from the very top, right across the board.
Always, yes. Thank you very much, gentlemen. So thank you for joining us on Match Day Live today. Kick-off is just under half an hour away. Now, the best place for you to get your commentary for today's game against Watford is, of course, the official City app. If you're currently watching us on the app, well done, stay put. If you're on one of our social channels, you need to get downloading the app now if you don't already have it. Commentary from Ali Man, absolutely incredible commentary. Ali Man is my favourite commentator, and he's got co-coms today from the wonderful Michael Brown. So Michael actually gave us his thoughts on the team earlier.
Just to see what the team news for Manchester City today, Pep Guardiola will be delighted with the personnel that will be able to put out a very, very senior lineup, especially that back four: Walker, Diaz, Emerick Laporte, Cancelo. And when we see in that midfield area, Bernardo Silva leave that sort of 8 role and go and join Phil Foden in that false 9. We've seen how well the two of them can press at the top of the pitch. Kevin De Bruyne back in on the substitute bench, that'd be a great, obviously positive point for Manchester City. Jack Grealish on the left-hand side, an opportunity, he's been missed, and see how he gets on. But Watford, difficult time at the moment. Claudio Ranieri's been getting some good results out of them, and even Thomas Tuchel, last time out, actually said his Chelsea side were fortunate to beat them. Probably Emmanuel Dennis on that right-hand side, he's one getting the goals for this Watford team. But a real tight, sort of dry evening, really looking forward to the game. But the Manchester City squad, hopefully it's going to be 3 points, and on the road they've been excellent. They've played 17 out of 20 Premier League away wins, so let's hope it continues tonight.
So that's the thoughts of Michael Brown. He's currently at Vicarage Road. He'll be doing the commentary alongside Ali Man on the City app for today's game. Now, at the start of the show, I mentioned that there is some incredible statistics that go alongside City playing Watford. I've got one for you. If you've not heard it yet, I think this is going to blow your mind. Now, this isn't necessarily one that goes in our favour, actually, but, I like to throw some bombs every now and again.
Stats.
Yeah, you know me, Sean.
Give it to us.
Claudio Ranieri has played Manchester City 9 times, never lost. Wow. We've never beaten Claudio Ranieri. He's won 8 times and he's drawn 1. What's that all about, Shaun?
That's a surprise to me. I think it's sleeves up. Sleeves up today. Let's get it on.
But Pep's also got a great record, so that was it. We'll push that onto the side for a minute. I'll give you Pep's record, Andy. So Pep has won all 9 of his games against Watford in all competitions by an aggregate of 39-3.
Yeah, it's remarkable. Both stats are. But, you know, I think Ranieri is in charge of a Watford team now, and he's not been in there long. So, you know, I think it's more about how we've done against Watford over the years rather than against Ranieri. And, you know, listen, they've proven the results they've got of late. You know, they put United to the sword 4-1, and it was a very comfortable. This is not it's not a gimme in any way. But if we're at our best, and we're hit form, and then you also look at what the strengths we got coming off the bench. It could be a very, very tough night for Watford, but we still got to win them battles, those individual areas where we have to be better than them. And then ultimately we have to take the chances when they come. You know, our results of late have been because when the opportunities have come, we've scored. We've scored at really good times and we've been clinical, and it'll be no different today.
For me, if I'm a Watford player, it's a free hit. It's a free hit, but also I'm thinking, it's Manchester City. I want to show them that, you know, that we're not the whipping boys, that we can go and put up a good fight and cause a surprise. So the likes of Dennis, Josh King, these goal scorers, they'll be really wanting to play well and try to score as well.
Yeah, because you mentioned they beat Manchester United 3 games ago, I think it was, or 4 games ago. They played really well in that game. Obviously, it resulted in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting sacked after that game. Later on, this week, just gone, they played Chelsea. Chelsea won, but they were really, really unlucky. From the highlights that I saw and the reports that I read, they were really unlucky not to get a draw. So like you say, Andy, despite these incredible stats absolutely going in our favour, we've got to be respectful today and we've got to be on the ball.
And they will be. And like I say, it's the strength of the squad and the ability to go again and keep the same standards every time they go onto the football pitch. Everybody playing at the very top. The manager demands that of them. That he sets that, you know, come into the changing room straight away, and it'll be, we've got to go again. We've got to go again. And you know, you're entitled to nothing, but you know, I've played at Watford and I know what the atmosphere is like there, and it's tight, and you know the pitch seems small and cramped in on top of you, and it's about us being patient but being clinical, and if we are, we'll be fine today.
So that was me being very respectful. Now, forgive me, I'm going to come over to you, Shaun, and perhaps be a little bit less respectful. If you're coming up against a team and you know we've scored 39 goals against them in the last 9 games, as a striker, are you thinking, I'd like to get a few here, I'd like to get me goals up today? Yes,
without shadow of a doubt. I'm thinking today's a day I can get a few goals, play my normal game, but I'll get some opportunities. So the City forwards to be looking, I think, Foden, if I was to put my hat on, I think him coming back in the team, be looking. I think also from Grealish point of view, I think he should be thinking, you know, can I get on the score sheet tonight? And hopefully we can see him making the sort of runs in behind. There's effective runs and receiving the ball behind the defence and cause some more danger. But again, I think the forwards would be thinking, you know, everybody's just licking their lips thinking, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Again, while trying to be respectful as well, which I always am, I'm also thinking about the goal difference at the minute, Andy, because amazingly, for the first time in what feels like forever, we don't have the best goal difference in the league. Would that ever be on your mind?
Yeah, well, obviously, it's a reflection of your defending and your attacking. But
it would be on my mind as a centre forward, because I find that was my responsibility as in terms of scoring goals. Sorry.
No, we weren't firing at the start of the season. You know, we were conceding goals, and we weren't getting the 3, 4, 5s which we've done in the past, which we normally blow teams away, and we're always 15 to 20 goals difference ahead of everybody else. But what I've seen of late, that will come, and we will end up, because very rarely does a league table ever finish, and it's always a great barometer. The goal difference it's always the top team have got the best defensive record and they score the most goals, and we're starting to come into form now, and I'd say within a couple of months' time we will be way ahead again.
of course, we know how important goal difference can be when it comes to winning a title. Right, we're going to move on to my favourite part of the show. It is Cryptic City. Now, I know you get really annoyed with this, Andy. How do you like this one, Shaun?
Well, I'm rubbish, so I don't get annoyed.
So, as you know by now, everybody, we're going to show you 4 pictures. Say what you see. Put them together and you'll get the name of a current or former Manchester City player. So this is your Cryptic City for today. Right, say what you see. Say what you see, gents. What do you immediately see? Talk us through it. What do you immediately see?
The first two, I'm just seeing eyes. Who's that in the...
Cockerel, is it? Chicken, what is it?
How many days are ticked off on that calendar?
Maybe.
Oh, how you doing? They're really stumped, everybody. Say what you see is my best tip. So, the second picture in is it a Christmas film or isn't it a Christmas film? They're really stumped today.
What's his name?
So, by the way, I'm going to give you a clue. This is the only clue I'm going to give you. You both have played with him. So, that is my only clue, and usually I don't even do clues. Y'all know I'm pretty tough. I don't usually do them.
He's got it.
I find it frustrating, me. You know when somebody does a magic trick and you're watching it and I just get annoyed, me, because I can't work out what's going on. I haven't got a clue.
It's just some pictures. Then.
I haven't got a clue.
I don't either.
Yeah, they're absolutely and utterly stumped. The last time I was here with Andy, we spent the entire first half of a game trying to work out what it was. Now, I actually know what it is today because I got it earlier. Now, I did get it, so it is doable.
You got it straight away now?
I got it after about 2 minutes.
No help?
No help. No, well, all right, no, do you know what? Producer Dowell did give me a bit of help. He's going to be like, hold on a minute, Natalie. He just told me to say what I see. He kept saying, say what you see, and it'll come together. So, there you go. Right, if you are playing Cryptic City at home, which we hope you are, tweet us your answers, #ManCity, and I will read out some of the people that get them right at halftime and at full time. Right, we're going to move on now to some more insane statistics. I did warn you all that there were some mad statistics that went with this game. And now we're going to look, and we're going to go on to statistics that involve Raheem Sterling. Now, you might all immediately be nodding your head saying, yes, yes. Raheem Sterling has been involved in 12 goals in just 8 games against Watford's. 12 goals in 8 games, Shaun. What a record.
What a record. I was always aware of a team I scored against regular.
Oh, were you?
I was. And I would imagine Sterling is very aware that he has a good record against Watford. So I think he will be one thinking, I want another goal tonight. Maybe an assist, but he'll be looking to get on the score sheet tonight. That is a phenomenal record. 12 goals in 8.
Goal has been involved in 12 goals.
12
so goals and assists.
And I mean, again, it's still phenomenal. So
10 goals, 2 assists. Sorry.
And he's coming into form. I'm really loving what I'm seeing with Sterling now. We're seeing that darting, that stop go. People can't live with it, or defenders can't live with it. He will be exciting tonight, I would imagine, because he'll be looking and thinking, Watford tonight? Yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, I feel like it's the perfect game that has come now for Raheem Sterling, because his form has been improving so much recently, Andy.
Yeah, I think it seems to be a pattern of the squad, players coming in and out of form, and the manager seems to be able to know when players are coming. You know, we talked about Bernardo in periods, Gundogan. They've not actually been involved, but when they come back in, they go through these periods of 4-6 weeks where they're exceptional. And Raheem, I'm a massive fan of Raheem, and I love his courage and his determination. And the form of the last month has been exceptional, and it's great, like I say, to see players who get back in who haven't actually been involved that much, and it seems like they're out of the picture a bit. And what they'll be saying is, we're waiting here, we're ready. When you need us, we will come in and produce the goods, and he certainly has.
This is a hat-trick, Shaun, that he scored against Watford in 18-19 that we're seeing now.
18-19. Well, see, what I like about this is something to steal in his game, going in behind. He runs in. You heard me talk about, it's off of Sergio, but running in behind is a bit fortunate as the clearance comes off him, but he's looking to run in behind. So that ball could also have been for him Was that a two-touch finish?
It's a fabulous
He's done a good finish there.
He's right out of the Goater book
I'm
of
telling you.
finishes.
But, again, we see her backdoor, he's far post, looking for it. This is a huge part of his game. Is he probably scores around 8 goals a season and being in the far post. Because he just knows that this ball, if it comes across the far post, he's there for that tap in. He holds his run here. Brilliant as a simple tap in. Any kids watching, if you're a wide player, this is where you want to be, getting inside the back door so that you can be having a tap in.
We talk about him. He's been getting into such great form lately. He scored 2 goals in his last 4 games. His stats since joining the club are absolutely insane. But we do know that prior to sort of probably the last 6 or 7 weeks, he was going through a really bad patch of form. We've talked about that. In terms of your personal experience, Shaun, did you ever go through a period where you were struggling a little bit? And what did it take for you to come out of that? What do you think he's been going through and has resulted in the great form that we're now seeing in?
Well, he'll know that he wasn't at the levels, a few weeks ago. But how he comes out of that is just at the training ground. And sometimes when I say at the training ground, you're doing your training, you finish your training, you just got a bag of balls and you just have a few strikes at an empty goal. Sometimes it may be a goalkeeper there, but you just shift it. With him being a wide player, he may have had somebody feeding balls on his side and just having a good touch, and they're just sliding into the empty goal. Because that feeling of hitting the net, whether the goalkeeper's there or not, it just builds your confidence. So I would imagine he would have done a little bit of work that way, sort of without goalkeepers, with goalkeepers, having that touch when he's arriving in the box or doing finishing where balls are coming across, and he's just getting the feel of tapping the ball in the back of the net, and his confidence would have just come more and more. And for me, he has his real skill, I think, is stop, go. And because you can't live with that, he stands in a standstill position, and then he goes, and then stops, and then goes again. It's just so quick. Nicholas Anelka was like that. You just think, how do they do it so quickly? But Raheem Sterling, this is when he goes left or fakes to go left, goes right and then cups back to his left. Defenders can't live with it, and we're starting to see Raheem back to his top form.
Yes, and we're so happy about it. We love Raheem Sterling, so we're so pleased that he's getting back into form. Now, another man that we absolutely love. He is chasing his 100th clean sheet for Manchester City, which is another incredible stat if he gets it today, fingers crossed. Now, we heard from him on his thoughts about the busy Christmas period and his own form so far this season.
É claro que sabemos que é uma data importante, né? Porque no Brasil se comemora junto com a família e aqui é mais difícil por conta do mês de dezembro, tem muitos jogos. Mas eu gosto dessa rotina, jogo, treino. Eu particularmente sou um jogador que não gosta de ficar parado. Eu quando pós-partida eu gosto de treinar, eu gosto de sair para o campo, fazer meu trabalho no campo, então eu gosto, mas é claro que é um mês muito cansativo por conta de ter muitos jogos, então você tem um bom grupo com bons jogadores, isso pode fazer uma diferença muito grande. Sim, no meu primeiro ano eu senti um pouco mais, porque antes eu tinha uma paragem no fim do ano que eu ia para o Brasil, estar com a minha família. Então, a partir do momento que eu vim para cá, essa parte acabou um pouco. Mas eu gosto, é bom você ter muitos jogos assim também. Os fãs adoram, tem jogo praticamente todos os dias. E isso é bom, porque na maioria dos outros países o campeonato para e aqui continua. Então eu creio que essa é a grande diferença e mostra, mesmo você tendo jogos 2 dias ou 3 em 3 dias, mostra o nível de jogos muito elevados. Então, mesmo tendo muitos times com jogadores cansados, mas o nível de jogo se mantém lá em cima, então isso que faz a grande diferença da Premier League. Bom, creio que tá indo bem. Para mim, particularmente, tive alguns jogos que poderia ter feito algo mais, alguns gols, mas eu sei que eu dei o meu melhor e acabei não conseguindo defender, porque nem sempre vou conseguir defender. Particularmente tem algumas bolas que defensáveis, mas depende também do posicionamento, do nível de posicionamento, do movimento também. Então, eu acho que tem sido bom início, apesar de algumas falhas, mas essa é a vida do goleiro, quando você falha, muitos te criticam, mas a gente tem que saber lidar com sucesso e com fracasso também, né? Tem que saber lidar com o elogio e com a crítica. Então eu me dou muito bem com isso, nunca deixei uma falha minha me abalar e me deitar abaixo e tirar minha confiança. Eu sou um cara muito confiante em mim mesmo. Se eu errei hoje, eu vou trabalhar para amanhã não errar mais. Então é assim a vida do goleiro, tem que seguir, independente se joga bem ou se joga mal, você tem que se dedicar ao máximo e não deixar se abater pelo erro, porque todos erram. Um jogador falha um pênalti, ele não é o pior jogador do mundo. E com o goleiro não é diferente.
So that was the thoughts of Ederson, who is chasing his 100th clean sheet for City today. Fingers crossed he gets that today. Now, throughout that interview, these two weren't actually paying attention because they were too busy trying to work out Cryptic City. I told you, it gets in your head, doesn't it? But you're starting to get there. I won't give you any more tips, but you're starting to get there. If you think you know, do tweet us #ManCity. So we are less than 10 minutes away now from kickoff. So I'd just like to get some final thoughts from you both. Andy, could you kind of wrap up how you're feeling about the game today, and then can I force you to give us a prediction?
I can't be any more confident with the starting 11 and obviously the bench. And I'm sure Watford will be looking at that with their fingers crossed, hoping that they can come out of this with something. But there's too much quality. There'll be too many opportunities created. I'm going to go for because I do think Watford will offer a threat on the counter. Dennis has got a pace, and that's the way they play. So both teams to score, and a City 4-1 win.
Oh, okay. Ederson won't be happy, but I'll take it. I'll take it right now, Andy. Sean, what's your final thoughts ahead of the game today?
I'm going to go 4-0. I think it's going to be interesting part of this game. I think will be they'll fall into sort of back five at times and even a back six. So I think can we get people like Gundogan in between those gaps? Because when he gets into those gaps, whether it's sliding balls or being able to get on the end of them can be the difference. The other thing is Cancelo being on the edge of the box, knowing that he comes in on his right foot. I would anticipate him playing a part in a goal, being in that area, whether it's him scoring or an assist. But I'm gonna go 4-0. I think they will get a couple of opportunities, but I'm gonna go for the clean sheet.
You guys are always more confident than me. I love it. You always make me feel a bit better. I feel like when I look at it and I look at the stats and the teams and I think, we could do 4 or 5-0, but then I always get a bit nervous and just think, do you know what? I just want 3 points. I just want 3 points now. That is all that I care about. And of course, as you would say, that Ederson would be then going for his 100th clean sheet if we got your score prediction, Sean, which would be just another insane stat to add to the day.
Yes, it would, and it totally deserved it. I mean, the goalkeeper that he is, we know the qualities that he offers in terms of his passing, but 100 clean sheets, that is absolutely stunning. But he's also got some quality players in front of him that he can keep control of and talk to, communicate. But hopefully he's able to do his job when he's called upon. Likelihood is there'll be maybe 1 or 2 opportunities that he's having to save. Hopefully there's none, but hopefully he can get that clean sheet.
Thank you very much. Thanks, gents, for joining me. Good luck with that Cryptic City throughout the game, if you can concentrate on the game. We'll show you Cryptic City again at half-time, because, of course, we are back at half-time to give you some instant reaction to that first half. Now, don't forget, the commentary for today's game is on the Manchester City app. You get the incredible Alistair Mann and you get former player Michael Brown. It is the only place to get your commentary. If you're listening to the game, you're sorted. If you'd like to watch the game, I could suggest watching it on mute and putting the commentary from the City app on. That way, you don't need to get angry at what anyone's saying because you'll be agreeing with Alistair Mann and nodding along. It's the best way to watch the game. Trust me on that. So that is on the Manchester City app. We'll all be back at half-time to talk about anything that happens in the first half and hopefully some goals for City. Now, here's what's coming up on the incredible City Plus. There's absolutely loads and loads on there. But here's what's coming up throughout December. We'll see you at half-time.
He seems to have a free rein on the ball sometimes. I look at him and I think, are you actually ever going to panic one day?
Oh, what a goal!
Está engraçado.
Becking, and still it's up right out for the shot here. And it's a brilliant shot.
Lace that up. It's taken on by Foden. The angle is low. City are back on turf. Take that one into Gabriel Jesus, who strikes from the turn. It's found its way in.
Boateng missed it. Milner goes for goal, finds it.